Hey there, I'm Brian with Innovation Lighting, and today I want to talk about gobos. Often in the world around us, the light we see isn't a flat, even wash. We get shadows caused by the sun streaming through windows or streetlights hitting trees and creating a dappling of light across the sidewalk. Gobos are how lighting designers add that texture and those patterns to the spaces they're working in to help that create that feeling of space with light. So a gobo is a simple object. It's simply a cut out pattern in a piece of metal, like this. We place it right in the focal point inside a light, and it interrupts and blocks that light, and it creates that pattern out where the light hits. You can also get glass gobos, which can do a lot finer detail. They can add color, and they can even do some shapes that are just not possible with a metal cutout. But the price is generally a lot more. Either type, you can get custom patterns made to suit whatever needs you have. Some people even cut them out by hand. It's important to note that not all lighting fixtures can take a gobo, and not every fixture uses the same size of gobo. So double check what you have and what you'll need. The manufacturer of your light should specify what kind of gobo and what kind of holder you will need for that specific fixture. There are a ton of options available from companies like Apollo or Roscoe. They come in every shape and manner that you can probably imagine. There's natural foliage textures, there's stars, buildings, abstract textures, mosaics, there's signs. Chances are someone already makes a pattern that you're looking for. But even not, you can always get the custom one made. Often in the corporate environment, we'll have company logos and things like that custom printed for people. There are a lot of uses for gobos, but depending what section of the industry you're in, you'll probably find some apply more than others. Next, I'd like to talk about just a few of the ways that I like to use gobos in theater, concerts, or even gala situations. In theater, you are often trying to create the impression of a location. One of the things I like to use gobos for is to help give more depth to that world on stage by adding patterns in that would appear in that environment in reality. So, for example, if the scene takes place in a bedroom, but the set only has a wall or maybe a door, we know there's going to be a window in that room. So we can use a gobo with a window pattern to shine into the room to give the impression that there's more walls and more architecture to that room than really exists on stage. You can then start using that to ground the rest of the scene you are building. What time of day is it? Does the window need to be a warm glow from a setting sun? Or is it already dark and is there moonlight coming through that window? We can do the same for other scenes and locations as well. A forest, maybe there's sun shooting through some trees. An urban street, maybe there's a square breakup, like light shooting through a crane. When I get to do live music on stage, we often get to use haze, so we see the beams of light in the air. One of the great things about this is that it also lets us see the pattern of the gobo in the air. So suddenly, you can create all kinds of different aerial effects with gobos, adding texture to the air as well as the surfaces. This is a great tool to switch up looks from solid beams to a more streaky look, especially when you're working with moving lights and you can have the gobo spinning so you create additional movement in the air. When we get more into the special event industry, we aren't just lighting up the stage, but often the whole room. So one of the ways we can start lighting up the room is by adding patterns to the walls or the ceilings, and we can theme them with the event. So if you have a starry, starry night theme for your event, maybe there's stars on the ceiling and clouds on the walls. Another thing we can do for these events is we'll light the dinner tables as well. So you can cast a pattern across the tables to help add a bit more life to the seating area as well. You have to be careful. If you run them too bright, you will get complaints from people with light in their eyes. But it's still an effective way to add a bit of light to the room without everything seeming too bright. So I'm Brian with Innovation Lighting. I hope you learned something about gobos, and I'll see you on the next video. See ya.